Fucci, and you are watching Govs Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
They just go with the flow. It's the Herschy and Keegs show.
Welcome to Herschy and the Keegs show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening. Welcome to Herschy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday night. We're here, we're queer, and it's been a full year.
And a week. Yeah.
It's our 1 year and plus 1 week anniversary.
It is.
If you weren't following the news, last week we had some internet issues in the studio, so we said we want to give everyone a great product, so we're not going to pre-record.
Right.
We want the real thing, and we're going to give them a real one. It's our 53-week anniversary.
The dial-up is working, and we're here.
That's right.
And we're going to do the best we can, and we have a lot to cover. What's the matter, Tone?
All right. We are good, and we are excited to have you join us. And as we're starting, please take 2 seconds to like and share and tell all your friends to tune in, because it's going to be a party.
It's going to be a party, and I was actually going to start with an emotional moment about me and Mike and how this podcast came about, but we're not going to, the podcast, we're not going to delve into that yet, because something just happened within the past half hour.
And I have no idea, and I cannot wait to hear what...
Yeah, I'm sure you can't, you motherfucker. So basically, as I was getting ready, I was actually watching White Lotus, which is my new obsession. I am so fucking obsessed with this television show.
Are you still on season 1 or are you on
season 1, episode 5? I just finished, and I started out of nowhere. Anna comes in the house with dinner. She's like, "Don't you have to do your show?" I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta go. I gotta leave the house." And my phone just starts blowing up. I get it's text messages, Facebook inbox messages. My phone's ringing. I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" And it turns out that someone has pulled apparently a pretty good ruse on me, because I don't know how many of you guys saw today. Hi, Max. I see you on there, buddy.
Hey, Max,
I don't know how many of you saw, but I posted a picture of a beautiful piece of art that I collected out of a neighbor's garbage last night, and I took the photo. It's in my office now, and apparently someone in my neighborhood, a friend, a foe, I don't know, has taken it upon themselves to put it all over the Ring camera system. So all of my neighbors were getting alerted that I had apparently I think the verbiage, and I don't have rings, so I don't really understand the concept, but apparently someone must have copied the picture that I had put up and then put it on Ring, saying they went out to throw the garbage away, then they cut their finger, something to do with a Band-Aid, they went back in the house and the picture was gone, and then this is now a theft situation. So obviously I'm like, oh my God, like, am I gonna have the fucking feds coming to look for me that I stole the thing?
So you're like this international art thief
now. So I called, Vecchio, my neighbor, Chris and Laura Vecchio, they were the ones who texted me first, and I'm like, well, I don't know how to do this Ring thing. What do I do? She's like, I don't know exactly which house it came from. I'm like, well, can somebody help me? So I went, because what happened was when I drove past the house last night and I saw the painting, I'm like, my God, that's a fucking nice painting. And I actually drove around the block and I came back and I'm like, there's nobody here. There's nothing. It's in the garbage. It's in the trash. So I took it, and so of course I have to rush now to get to the show, but I don't want to be worried about the whole situation of the painting thieving situation. So I go back to where I think the house is, and there's 3 men in a car in front of this house, and they're doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but I was like, is this the house with the painting? They're like, we don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. What are you talking about? I'm like, did you guys throw out a painting last night? Because on the Ring camera, they're saying that I took it. They're like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Who's
like
this schizophrenic?
Yeah. So then I'm like, no, it's probably the next house. So I walk over to the house and I ring the bell, and the lady has a Ring doorbell. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what that had to do with anything, but I'm like, did you guys throw a painting out last night? She's like, yes, the painting. And I'm like, did you guys throw that out, or did you put it out and then you cut your finger and came back in the house? She's like, no, nobody cut their finger. It was a painting we've had in the house and we're throwing it out, and it's in. Oh, now the fucking phone's ringing now. Jesus fucking Christ.
We don't have to
I
take
guess
it.
take it.
Take
fucking
it.
take it. It's fucking the police.
It could very well
ahead.
be.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, caller.
Hello, how you doing today?
All right.
Carry on.
Who was that?
Carry on.
All right, we're carrying on. I don't know.
Do we know who it was?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Was it Andrew Fremder?
No.
So
Was it Iggy the Puppet?
So ultimately, I told the lady that it wasn't that, she's like, no, you're fine. Like, we threw it out. We threw it out. So then I got over here just in time. I texted my friends to say, please go on the Ring, because I'm getting all these
Tell them
messages.
I'm not this
I'm telling them
international
I didn't take any
art heist.
Yeah, so hopefully they're letting the Ring and the federal authorities know that I did not steal any painting or portrait or anything like that.
Because it is a beautiful painting. It looks like it's hand painted.
Yeah, no, DeMarco is the guy who painted it. It said DeMarco
Jimmy
on
DeMarco.
it, and it looked lovely, and I took it. It was actually, I took it last night, and I left it on my porch. It was overnight on my porch, and then I'm like, when I get into, because Stacy would never let me hang anything
I wish
like
somebody
that.
took it off your porch last night.
Oh my God in heaven. So basically, it's either, I would assume it's probably somebody who
messing
knows,
with you?
Yeah, like a friend,
Yeah.
or it could not be.
If somebody's messing with you about this is the greatest prank
It's
ever.
it's a great one.
And it
It's a
wasn't
great
me
one.
and Tony.
No, it was not
No,
me.
definitely not me and Tony.
No, the best I could do was do the sign.
No, it wasn't.
The best that I could do was, I don't know if you saw on the fence. I put an 8x10 of the banner on the fence. That's the best I can do.
Are there going to be any hints in the comment section there, Tone?
Hopefully,
Come across
if Max
any
is
good-
listening. Maybe he's got some information. I see probably Max and his little jerky friends probably put
Steve
putting up
Lenzo,
for
my
this.
buddy, just said, come across any good art lately? Oh boy,
Oh, boy.
he's a culprit, and he's a sneaky little fucker too. But I will say this: it is definitely clever. Whoever.
This is the wildest beginning to a show
Yeah.
ever. Like, they have this whole art heist thing
Yeah.
that I had no idea about.
So we're gonna put that aside for a second, and we're going to.
a cartoon character just called us. Apparently.
We're going to.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
gotcha.
okay. We're gonna move on with things, and we're going to address what we wanted to address last week, which is the 1 year anniversary. And I'm gonna start with a little bit of a tender moment.
Sure.
And then I'm going to go on and
Very tender.
and then we're going to get real, okay?
Tenderness and realness, that's what you get.
Because we never really talked about this a lot, but ultimately leading up to last year when we started this podcast, and obviously it was my idea and I had approached you about it. Previous to that, maybe for a year or two, Tony had definitely said to me a couple of times, I think you'd be great to do something in the studio. Jimmy, the owner of the club, had asked me a couple of times, and I just wasn't ready for a number of reasons. I wasn't ready, personal life, just work, whatever the case may be. And then a few months before the podcast
you were
started,
planning this giant art heist.
Yeah, exactly. I was planning to steal a Monet out of the Met.
From Levittown.
Yeah. So when push came to shove, and a few months before we started the podcast, I really had to make a decision. Was I going to do a show just myself and then a producer, and I didn't want to do that, or was I going to do it with a partner, and I knew I wanted to do that. Yeah. And I would say there were a few names that came into my mind, and certainly that my close friends in comedy are Monty and Haft and Walker and you. And when push comes to shove, and certainly this is no disrespect to any of those guys, I just didn't see a fit for me to do a show with them on a full-time basis. And I basically said to myself, if I'm going to do this show, it's going to be with Keegan or it's not going to be at all. Wow. And so I never told you that when I approached you with it. I just said, do you want to do this show with me? Yeah. And your response
right now.
Well, but your response was like 100%. Like there was no hesitation, there was no wavering. You were fully on board, and I was glad because I would say there's probably a part of me that wanted you to say no, so I didn't have to do it because I was probably afraid to embark on this whole thing.
Well, I wanted to get back into doing a podcast, and I figured you and I would be a good team once you approached me with that because we have such good dynamic. And
we do.
When we're in the green room before a show, we have fun.
Oh, the best.
We have fun with all the busting chops with everybody.
No doubt.
We always laugh. We make each other laugh. And I'm like, if I'm going to sit next to somebody for an hour a week, it's
no doubt.
I could see it being you.
Well, so that was the dynamic of how it started, and it's been better than I thought it could be. I've thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad that we're going to keep on pushing it, and we're going to keep on pushing.
Okay, I'm glad you said keep on because I thought there was going to be like a but.
No, there's no but. There's no but. No but. We're going to keep on plugging away, and it's been a great year, and thanks to you, and certainly thanks to Tony, and of course to the months that we had with Sally and anyone else who's been a part of it, and we're going to keep on plugging away. So cheers to us.
And cheers to us, and also to the people that listen every week. I mean, we're growing little by little, but
no doubt we're making some headway. Sure,
but and the people that listen every week, fucking tell other people.
Tell other people. That's right. So that's where I'm gonna end the funky, the fun and lovey-dovey stuff. Now what we're gonna talk about is the other night we performed on a show together. Me, you, Chris Monty's friend Irving Lawrence.
No, I think it's Earbud Lorax.
Or that Lorax. So this is we're gonna start from the end and we're gonna go backwards, okay? And literally, there's gonna be a time if this happens again where I'm gonna wring your fucking neck, okay? Because it's not the first time it's happened where Mike and I do a show together, okay? He's off puttering around with his big beaker of Chardonnay. That's his new fucking thing. Drinking this fucking big glass of white wine like a fucking quiff. And then I find him at the bar holding court with these fucking wackadoos. Every time, and I'm like, the truth is, when a show's over, if I'm not with Mike for 5 minutes, I know that I need to find this fucking idiot because he's doing something bad. That's counterproductive to my life and to the show.
Where you're going.
So you know what? At some point, I was back here and I was talking to Monty or Monty's sister-in-law or I don't know who it was. I'm like, fuck, where's Keegan? I make my way to the bar and he's sitting there in that goddamn seat, perched there. He's got his glass of wine, and I get approached immediately by somebody who says, we're looking forward to coming on to the podcast. And I'm like, whose podcast? They're like, your podcast. I'm like, oh, is that right? So then I go over and I'm like, did you just tell this lady over here? And there's a lady who performed on the show in the main room, and I don't know her name, and she seemed very lovely, and I think she's new to comedy. She had like a green dress on of some sorts, and Mike has like a stack of business cards from different people that he collected. And I'm like, what are you doing over here? Are you running Monster.com? Are you running interviews? What are you doing?
I was interviewing people to be on our
I don't know.
podcast.
I'm like, what the fuck? So he's like, this lady's going to come on, or at least I told her she was. And I'm like, who is she? He's like, I don't know. So I take a look at the business card, and it says that she is a speech pathologist and a swallologist. A swallowologist. That's what the card says.
You're serious?
I didn't know
I'm not lying.
Do you know this?
She's a swallowologist.
I'm dying to hear that, though.
So I'm like, what is a swallowologist? And
why do you think I wanted her on the show?
No, she obviously helps people because it is a thing where young people, they can have problems digesting, and it becomes like a mental thing. And
I didn't know that was a real thing. And I was making a big joke of it. And then
she's a swallowologist.
Alyssa, the bartender, was like, "Oh, I'm going to school for that too." I'm like, "You fucking don't
No, she's going for a different swallowologist. But so she's already committed to the show, and I'm like, okay, well,
if she's teaching swallowing, how good is she?
Exactly. You have to be excellent. You have to be a craftsman. And then for those of you who were not at the show the other night, we had a great show, sold out, little giggle room. The little giggle room.
There were plenty of little giggles to be had.
I got a text about an hour before the show, and Mike said, just so you know, so you're not unnerved, right in front of the stage. Well, you go ahead and tell them what the text was and who these people are.
So these are good friends of mine from Jersey.
Okay.
I know that Mark gets very apprehensive before shows.
Right.
And he's a big ball of nerves. And
correct.
Usually he'll text me and be like, can you let me in the back door so I don't have to see a person?
Correct.
And I said, I just want you to know that there's a couple, and Monty knows them also, so I texted you and Monty.
Yep.
I said, there's a couple in the audience that come see me and Monty at the Comedy Cove in Jersey a lot. Mm-hmm. And they bring with them a puppet. They have a puppet that they bring with them named Iggy. So, Mark, I just want you to be aware that there's going to be a puppet sitting in the front row staring at you.
A puppet and a couple.
A puppet.
That's what was there.
They're like a couple.
And literally, when you're in the giggle room, you are so close to the audience that you're basically holding the puppet.
It's
practically
very intimate. The puppet's basically on stage,
right?
So I know everything freaks Mark out. So I'm like, I know this puppet's gonna freak him out. And they're the nicest couple in the world. Bill and Nancy. Yeah, they own Iggy's Curiosity Shop in New Jersey. Yeah. If anybody's in the area in New Jersey by Morristown, I think it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Check out Iggy's Curiosity Shop.
Iggy.
And Iggy is the puppet. Is the name of the puppet.
I got that.
And I'm like, Mark's going to be freaked out. He's going to have this puppet staring at him the whole
time.
Well,
I will tell you that I'm glad that you told me about it because I was definitely felt better when I went up there and Iggy was sleeping with Bill and Bill was sleeping too for a part of my set, which I was happy about. So after the show, Bill comes up and he introduces Iggy and then he introduces his wife, which was unbelievable. And they're like...
And he didn't even say the name. He goes, this is Iggy and this is my wife. Yeah. He doesn't even say her name.
So then she says, we're looking forward to coming out for the podcast on a Tuesday night. So my response to her, without even being rude, I'm like, no, we don't have an audience for the podcast. We shoot it. It's just in a studio. They're like, no, Mike invited us to be guests. And I'm like, he what? I'm like, who? She's like, me, Iggy, and Bill. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, I really just wanted to get Iggy on. Oh my God. But they support the shows.
I understand that. I understand that.
Let's pump up their
shop. Why do I have to do damage control every time we're on a show together? I have to find you fucking half trash at the bar, and you're inviting literally everybody, and then I have to be the bad guy to tell them none of you are coming on the show.
Because I know that if I invite these people, they'll like me, and then I always have you to just say, no, he's full of shit.
It's just so funny how many people I have probably told right now. I would say at least 6 people or tandems or groups, including puppets, that they are not invited to the show.
Between that night and the holiday
party. First night, the holiday night was ridiculous. I had to make like a big calling in the bar area.
Hey, why don't you come on the show? Mark's fine with it. He's good.
God, it was.
Do you know the next show that me and Carl are producing? I think I have 37 comics that I told are going to be on the show.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing. But so getting back to the show, so let's give people that don't realize the dynamic. Me, you, and Monty are close. We've been close for a long time.
And
we work together.
Yeah.
But Monty,
we're like the Three Musketeers, and now we added a fourth.
So we had Monty decided to invite his friend Ira Labea.
No, I think it's AirPod Lorax.
AirPod Lorax was on the show, and the guy was on our podcast a couple of weeks ago, and
Ichabod Labia.
Yeah, Labia. You remember he was on the podcast, and he had like little gnomes in the back, and we were trying to like get him to like laugh a little bit, and it just didn't go great.
Yeah, it didn't.
It didn't go great. I mean,
it didn't read well.
Can we be honest about that it didn't go great?
It didn't go great. You were very good at cutting it off. Because it didn't flow.
It didn't flow. He wasn't a big fan of ours, and we tried. But anyway, Monty said you got to be on your best behavior the night of the show.
I was hosting the show, so I was even practicing his name so I didn't get it wrong before the show.
So, but we agree. We had no reason to be against this guy.
And I did. I said it right. I said Archibald Lobotomy.
That's right. Ichabod Crane is coming up. That's right. So apparently this story was not told to me till the end of the night, and it cracked me up. So Mike goes up, opens up, kills 15 minutes, does absolutely fantastic.
I think I went over by a few minutes.
Yeah, you definitely went over by a bunch.
Yeah.
And then what happens? And I go up, and
Mark killed. He'll never admit it, but he killed.
But that's not the point of the story, though. So for what I tend to do, and I even run it by Mikey a lot. When Mikey hosts, I will say I'm going to say this. I have a couple of things that I'm going to say to roast you or whatever. And
that's what we do. We bust each other's chops.
So and I guess busters. So I busted your balls a little bit. I think. What happened? You came up and you said Mark Hirschman, and I said, how about our host Kim Jong Un? Is what I said.
Exactly. And like the classic Mark Hirschman. Nah, it's not Kim Jong Un. It's Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell. And then I said something about Monty. It's being his 75th year in comedy, and apparently at some point right during this was happening, Irving turns to Mike and Monty, and he's like, what, this whole fucking set this guy does is making fun of other comics? How great is that? Yeah. And Monty's like, no, that's just how he is. This is what he does. Yeah. He's like, is he going to do that the whole time that he's up there? Which obviously...
He was so nervous that he was the next victim.
Oh, my God.
That's why I kind of wish that he went up before you, so you had some shit to say about him.
It was just so funny that
look at this chubby Brillo ped.
The truth is this, and I had this conversation with someone today. In order to be, at least to me, in order to be a good comic, you have to be able to laugh at yourself. We do that constantly. Exactly. We do it all day on text. Nothing to do with the show. Yeah. We make fun. We send each other pictures of each other with edits.
Exactly.
If you cannot laugh at yourself, that's why there are comics out there that you will see on stage, but in the green room, they are big pieces of shit who are not funny at all.
Do you know how many times a day I send Mark pictures of little people, and I'm like, oh, is this you?
I'm just saying. So, like, the truth is, I
didn't even say midget.
I said nothing derogatory about you or Monty or even Ira Larea. I said nothing about that.
Exactly.
But I think that it's so important.
Iqbal Lamborghini.
Right. If you're going to go into stand-up comedy, I think it is essentially important that you need to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Laugh at yourself and let other people laugh at you as long as it's not cruel.
And Iguana Beanbag just does not know how to do that.
Iggy Bean Bops is definitely not. He did not. But so that was.
Sorry, Monty. I know Monty listens.
Oh, he's going to slay us.
Mortified.
Well, but Monty had said be nice to him on the podcast, which we were.
He didn't
say
tonight.
Be nice to him the night of the show, which we were. But he made it clear that he was not fans of mine for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I'm sure he wasn't a fan.
Yeah,
of mine.
He
couldn't give a shit.
But it was a fucking super show.
Let's just say I'm not getting invited to Hooters Comedy
Jam and T-Neck.
Comedy Jam and fucking.
Yeah, no, listen. I didn't watch any of his set. I know he said he kills. I didn't watch it. I have no idea.
He's a great comic. Just ask him.
Yeah. Does he know Eric Half? Does he know Eric? But we had a great night.
T-shirt. He was selling a lot of merch after the show, right? I think.
I don't know. I don't think he had told me he did, but I didn't notice if there was one sold actually. But
I'm sorry, Monty. Please let me come over your house and smoke cigars still.
Oh, that's happening. Yeah, that's totally happening.
He's not talking.
We had a good hangout after the show. We had a couple drinks, and
it really was a fun night.
You more than anyone else. But yeah, so that happened this week. What else happened this week? Tim McCarver died this week.
Tim McCarver
Tony
passed away.
Very sad. Very sad
that was
about that.
upsetting.
You have a good Tim McCarver story.
For those of you who did not read my Facebook post the other day, basically my Tim McCarver story, because I have a story about everything. I know people are like, this fucking guy has a story about everything. This is a true story, though, Tony.
Tim
I don't know if
McCarver
you read
had
it.
this painting at his house.
He had this painting of these boats, and he sliced his finger, and I'm like, I'm going to take Timmy's fucking picture. So it was the weekend before 9/11, Tone, okay? September of 2001, and Stacy and I are young, married, no children. We're off in fucking Boston, drinking, smoking, Yankee games,
Banging
the whole
each
thing,
other
banging all over the place.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a good story about that, actually.
All right.
So we go on. You guys know what the duck boat is? You're familiar with the duck boat?
Yeah.
The duck boat, for those who don't know, is an amphibious vehicle that it takes a tour around the streets of Boston, and then at some point it dips into the Charles River, and it takes you around on the Charles River. Well, at one point during the street portion, because it would definitely have been odd if I would have seen someone in the water, like, holy shit, it's Tim McCarver in the water.
I do love that you pointed out that it was the street portion, and Tim McCarver wasn't scuba diving in the Charles River.
I'll tell you, I saw Tim McCarver snorkeling in the Charles River. I'm like, Timmy, is that you? So I will tell you that we're going down, and I have terrible ADD, so I can't ever fucking pay attention to shit. As the tour guide on the boat is talking, or the amphibious vehicle, about, and this is where, so-and-so died, and this war was fought here, I'm looking at the street, and I see a man walking with disturbingly bright orange hair that was dyed and not natural.
Yeah.
And I look, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's Tim McCarver.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It was Tim McCarver. So I said to Stacey, I'm like, that's Tim McCarver. He calls Met games. He calls national games. He played for the Cardinals. She's like, you're going to mortify us if you yell for Tim McCarver. And I'm like, I'm yelling for Tim McCarver. So as I wrote on Facebook, I just scream out, Tim McCarver. And he turns around and he gives us a wave, and that little southern drawl that he has, he goes, how y'all doing? And it was Tim McCarver.
That's awesome.
It was Tim McCarver.
Very cool.
And then fast forward to this week, he died.
Yeah.
So not the greatest Tim McCarver story in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would have if it ended better, and then we had some
didn't have
drinks
lunch
last week, but no, he died.
But can I tell you a great story that happened that weekend, though, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
You okay with it?
Yeah.
So we stayed at a DoubleTree downtown hotel in Boston.
Yeah, you did.
Really nice hotel. Probably the nicest hotel that Stacey and I had ever stayed in to that point, other than our honeymoon. Because I think when we first started dating, we would stay in shoddy places because we had no money. And then as we started to make more money, and she was like, we can't stay in Red Roof Inns anymore. So I booked this hotel, DoubleTree in Boston, and it was fucking mint. This hotel, so cool. And there was a bar right in the lobby of the hotel, which there's nothing better than that ever.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we go up there, have a few drinks one night, and I was still spinning doobies back then.
All right,
I was an herb smoker, so I was a lot of fun to be around. Okay,
sure. You still are.
I know, but I have my moments of anxiety, stress, and grief causing. So I'm lit like fucking Christmas Day. Okay, and this couple sits down next to us, our age-ish, and their names I'll never forget: Mike and Michelle Boswell from Virginia.
Michelle Boswell.
Mike and Michelle Boswell from Virginia.
They used to call him the Boz.
The Boz, yeah, that's exactly right. He used to play in the NFL. I just broke my nose on the microphone. Do we have insurance here? God. How do you know that it's a Jew in the studio? He broke his nose on the microphone.
I've seen you do a lot of Jewish things in my life.
I'm just gonna do the show with my nose. If I just breathe through my nose into the microphone, will you guys able to hear it? Hello, this is Chaim. This is Mordecai Herschman speaking from his nostrils. So we're at the fucking bar. Me and my big honky Jew hook nose. me and my big fucking kike nose, and we're at the bar and we're drinking, and this couple sits down, the Boswells, and we just start bullshitting with them.
The Bos and the Schnoz.
That's my new podcast. Fuck you, Hershey and the Keegs. It's the Bos and the Schnoz. After 23 years. After 23 years, they're back together. Is that you, Schnoz? Is that you? I can tell that nostril anywhere.
Exactly.
I know that deviated septum anywhere. The Bos and the Schnoz.
Yeah.
So we start drinking with them, having a good time, and I must have said to either the girl or the guy, I'm like, I got some herb in my room. So they're like, so I invited them into our room, which was really fucking bizarro. Really. So, long story short, this guy is walking around the hotel with his video camera because they'd never been. They're like real hillbillies from the Virginia sticks.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so he's up in Boston, and they're Boston Red Sox fans. I don't know why, but they just are. And we go back to the room, and I spin one up. And we're puffing, and I get on one of my fucking crazy Mark Hirschman rolls where I'm just killing. This is before stand up, but I'm just in that mode where I'm a machine. Yeah. And I'm looking at the guy, and I think he's having a heart attack because he's not breathing.
Oh my God, really?
But it's just because he's stuck in that laughing mode. And I'll never forget. He goes, "Dude, I got to videotape you from our friends back home."
Really?
And to this day, I would pay such good fucking money to find this guy and the video, because he had me for like 20 minutes just full blown doing my Mark Hirschman stupid high drunk act. And
that's gold. That's got to be gold.
Have you looked for him on Facebook or anything?
Well, what happened was we were in touch with them. They reached out to us after 9/11, as a matter of fact, because they're like, people from out of New York think that when 9/11 happened that we all died in 9/11.
Oh, I know. Dude, I went
what I mean?
I went to Cancun after 9/11, and it was just telling people I was from
to
New
celebrate?
York. Yeah, exactly. It was the day after 9/11. I'm like, let me get on the first flight. Yeah.
It's going to be safe, and it's cheap. Let's go.
It was that in March, so I guess it was spring break day because that was my freshman year of college.
Okay.
And I went to Cancun, and I was just showing everyone my ID. So, hey, I'm from New York. I'm from New York. Everybody wanted to hang out with me. Yeah, exactly.
You made it.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
This is 3 months after the worst national tragedy.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, pay attention to me. I'm from New York. I was there.
Well, they reached out, and I'm like, no, we're 25 miles away. Although I was in the city when it happened, but we kept in touch for a while, and then listen, that's a lot of life has happened since September of 2001. So we're not in touch. But if the podcast hits, then
exactly.
Then
you see the Bos crawling back.
The Bos and the Schnoz.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I think I might have.
My last name was Boswell. That would have been an amazing show.
Do you know what? I think at some point a few years later, I found out that she was doing real estate in Virginia, and I sent her an email, and she probably thought I was like some fucking creepy lunatic.
Really? Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, me and my wife had a baby, and we never heard back again.
Yeah, no,
so
I could see that.
So that was So that's something that happened. I had a battle of ethics this week. I want to get your opinion, and I want to know. I want to know what you guys think that I did. Okay, so basically, when
I'm choose your own adventure story.
2 days a week when I at my day job, and again, I know people like, how does these guys have a day job? But 2 days a week, I have a 20-minute break around 5 o'clock when I work late, and there's not much to do for 20 minutes. But sometimes I just get out of the office, listen to some radio, maybe try to call FAN up, whatever. Yeah. So this particular day, I brought like a chicken salad sandwich. I made chicken salad at home, which I do sometimes, but I was in the mood, and I don't know if you guys share the like for this particular drink that I do, but McDonald's High C orange drink,
my favorite. It's always been my go-to.
It's just such a home run.
Yeah. I'm not a soda drinker.
Yeah, I'm not a big soda drinker either, but I like a good pineapple juice. But that orange High C is a home run
because it always brings back memories.
Yeah,
and
you and Ronald McDonald. Yeah,
me and Ronald McDonald. But yeah, if I don't drink water and I'm at McDonald's, it's the only thing I get. I don't really drink Coke or Sprite or anything.
But the orange High C is a home run.
Orange High C, always a home run.
So I'm sure you know nowadays. So I'm like, I'm gonna just stop at McDonald's. I didn't need any food, but I'm gonna get myself a High C orange. And I'm sure you guys know that McDonald's has implemented this new wackadoo fucking drive-through system where there's 2 lines going into one, and then I'm always like, "Hey, how do you know it was me?" And
I do the same.
like, idiot, don't fucking worry. We know this is
exactly.
McDonald's Corporation. You dumbass.
I'm always like, they're not gonna know. Then how are they gonna know?
Well,
Watch that.
so apparently, so I go and I just say I want a medium high C orange, light ice, and I wiggle my way through, the 2 different lanes, and I get up there, and the guy, so I see him, he fills the orange drink, puts it down on the ledge, and he's like, your order is the medium high C orange and the 2 Big Macs and 2 large fries.
Whoa!
And now at this point I'm paid.
Yeah.
So I can smooth sail right the hell out of there if I want, okay?
Exactly, yeah.
So I look at him and I'm like, no, just the high C orange.
Wow.
You believe that?
I don't believe that at all.
I did it because I
don't
know why. I just felt it was the right thing to do. And he said to me, "Are you sure?" Like almost like he wanted me to have it.
Yeah,
like
right,
he wanted me to
yeah.
do something bad.
Yeah, exactly. I want you to be a bad boy.
But he wanted me to be his bad boy.
He wanted you to be his
but
bad boy.
I wouldn't let him. I wouldn't let it happen, and I left.
Because I wonder if they get in trouble if they
that's
screw
the
up.
whole
'Cause
thing.
you
These are kids, and like it screws up the order, and then am I
I don't
on
want
camera?
them to get in trouble, but any chance I can get to stick it to corporate America.
No, I'll stick it to the man.
Yeah.
I'll stick it in the man, as you know.
I know you will.
But I didn't. I just felt like, am I going to get this kid screwed over? Then the next person comes, their meal. It's going to fuck up the whole procession line.
That was very good of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I think in that situation, I would have said yeah.
But there was nothing like. I can see if like I had a burger and a drink and I just took too much food, but going from just a drink to a satchel of fries and
of the staple drinks, sandwiches at.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
It shows that you're a good person.
Well, I don't know
when fast
about
food is
that.
concerned.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But thank you for that.
But yeah, in that situation, I think I probably would have listened to the devil on my shoulder.
You would have
gotten 2 free Big
Yeah.
Macs.
Speaking of shoulder, by the way, I had an episode at the barber shop the other day.
Ooh.
I had an episode that the barber shop that I go to. Let's go back to Valley Stream back in the day. I do not like when barbers talk to me while I'm getting my hair cut.
Yeah, me neither. I always get apprehended. That and Ubers. I'm like, don't talk to me.
I think I would prefer Ubers, but haircut, I just want to be on my phone. I want to just whatever. Yeah. There was a guy in Valley Stream on Sunrise Highway named Mike, and Mike was probably cutting hair 5 to 6 years longer than he should have been. He had definitely been hit with Parkinson's, and he would always be available when I would go there. So I knew that nobody else was using him. Yeah. But I liked Mike because he was available and because he never talked to me.
Yeah. And
I would have felt pretty awful going in there and then picking somebody else. Yeah. So I was loyal to Mike, and he knew what blades I liked. So my haircuts generally were pretty horrific, but it did the job more or less. So I've been going to this barbershop in Levittown, Gappy's over there, and
Gappy's very well.
It seems like more recently the people that I use, there's one guy and one girl that they've been a little bit more chatty than usual. Maybe because they're getting to know me a little bit more.
You don't want that.
So I sit down with Leo the other day, and Leo says to me,
Leo used to work at Johnny's place.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's Leo. Leo says, "Do you hear what's going on with turkey?"
Oh God!
And I'm thinking like he's talking about like turkeys. Like, are they gonna fuck with the honey maple? Because that's all I like to eat for lunch: honey maple and white American on wheat bread. He's like, no, the country turkey, it's burning down. And I'm like, I don't even know, is there things happening in Turkey? No, is there things happening?
There are, yeah. There was a giant earthquake.
Oh, yeah, I had no idea.
It killed like half the population.
Well, now I feel bad. But I didn't know, and I just said I did, and I said yes. I think first I said, yes, that's good, and then he's like, no, it's bad. I didn't know what it was.
Turkey, yeah, that's good.
I didn't know.
Got rid of half of those fucking...
I didn't know the Kurds and the Turks were having a problem, but he's like, no, it's bad. So I'm like, I'm sorry. And then he changed his subject, and this is
Imagine
why...
if he was like, yeah, I know it's good.
This is why I may have to leave him, though, because what he's been doing consistently recently is he's been grilling me about when Max's bar mitzvah is happening. And that is, I have to lie to him. Like, oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's never coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
The kid's a leprechaun. He's never getting bar mitzvah in a million years. We're not doing that. It's just not happening.
Is he looking for an invite? Or
No, he just wants,
tell him it's
but I don't
week.
understand why he feels the need. He knows that I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
He feels the need to talk Jewy things with me.
He was like they're Russian Jews.
I understand that, but I'm also, my arms are covered with tattoos. Like, just understand that I'm not your typical, So anyway,
you're not a practicing Jew. You perfected it.
I have perfected it. That's exactly right. Just like my dad.
It's February 19th, the governors. That's what you should have told him.
That's exactly right.
That's right. Get his ass down.
So
here. I'll tell you when. Leo was he was my barber when he was at Johnny's place.
Yep.
And he would always try to tell me jokes because he knew I was a comedian.
Right.
And
of course.
His big joke was, I tell a bartender how much one drop of vodka, and the bartender says, "You just want one drop? It's nothing." He goes, "Well, then I have 500 drops." That's a big joke, and I had to laugh every time. He would tell me every single time.
500 drops,
and I have 500 drops of vodka. Yeah.
Well, so Leo. So this particular day, he's much more chatty, and I normally don't even have to tell him, 6 on top, 0 on the sides, eyebrows trimmed that are like this. I get to a point now I don't have to even tell him anymore. Yeah. But this particular day, he's a little scatterbrained, I can tell.
Oh,
and
because everything's going on in Turkey.
There's one particular blade. I don't know if there's certain things that when you go to the barber that you don't like them using, but there's a particular buzzer that they use that has 2 round blades on it, and when it hits my neck, it irritates the hell out of me. I can't stand it. Yeah. So he's talking, and it hits my neck, and I scream in the middle. I'm like, ah! And then Gail, from 3 seats down, she's like, he's got a very sensitive nape of the neck. His nape of the neck is very sensitive. So she yells at Leo. He's like, oh, I forgot
about your nape. You're the nape guy.
He forgot my nape. But if he wasn't fucking talking about turkey and Max's bar mitzvah, he wouldn't have buzzed my neck like that. Exactly. My sensitive, thin chicken skin neck.
I never realized you had such a sensitive nape.
This particular, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like 2. What are those shavers that people use? Like, and it has like the round edge to it, like
the Norelco.
So picture 2 long round Norelcos. Yeah. Easy for you to say, Norelco.
And wasn't he on the show with us?
That's right, Irving Norelco. This Mark Hirschman's not funny at all. He makes fun of me.
He's gonna make fun of me.
So. When it hits my neck.
Before when you hit your nose on the microphone.
I love that. You want to go back to that because that was funny, Mike? Is that what you want to skip all the other part of the story? Awesome. Right. That was it, Tony. That's what I screeched. I did. So Gail came to my rescue because she knows not to use.
She knows about your nape.
The nape. Yeah, exactly. So
I'm the same way. I don't like.
What? What don't you?
I don't like talking to the barbers. I was at a barber a couple weeks ago. Last haircut I got.
Yeah.
And he had a very thick accent, and I couldn't really understand what he was saying. He was asking. I knew he was asking me if I like something, and I asked him twice. What? And then I finally just said, yeah, I love it. And he goes, oh, I didn't know you love anime. He goes, what's your favorite anime? And now I'm like in a spot. He's like a young guy, like a young Turkish guy.
You don't know what to say, right?
I have no idea. I don't know one anime. I'm like,
you don't know?
I'm like, I know. I like all the popular ones.
You're like, I thought you said thumb in my asshole.
Yeah, I like that. Anime, and I don't watch anime. I know nothing about it. I'm like, no, my girlfriend's daughter watches it. I just watch whatever.
Do you remember the story I told you about the incestuous couple who ran the bed and breakfast in Atlantic City? The bread and breakfast.
Yeah.
You know what her name was?
What?
Anime.
I bet she likes anime.
She certainly does, and the thumb in the asshole too. Yeah. So the bread
anime
and breakfast
does not like you.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, go back to that episode. It was good.
So, the bottom line is this. I just want the barbers to know what I need. I don't want to talk. I'm sorry I don't want to talk.
Exactly.
There's certain times in life where you want to be off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's one place.
Because my barbershop now that I go to is downstairs from my office. And I've been working all day, and I just want to go down and relax and get a haircut.
You just want to go and relax.
And now I'm brand new there, so this guy feels like he has to find everything out about me. I made the mistake. I'm like, my office is upstairs. Oh, what do you do? And then I have to get into that conversation. And so don't talk to me.
My thing now
Fucking
always
bastard.
is they'll usually say like, are you on break? Are you on lunch? No matter what, I'll be like, no, it's a working lunch. They'll be like, it's Sunday at 4. What are you doing? I'm like, no, I'm working, because like I'll pull up my email. Just to
Leo's
look
like,
and
it's the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well,
the
that's
Max
another
ready?
thing. Why the fuck is he grilling me about Max's bar mitzvah when he's cutting my hair Saturday at 11
You're
a.m.?
exactly right. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, he's Rabbi Feinstein?
Yeah.
He's sitting there cutting my hair.
You're right.
He should not be asking about Maxwell's bar mitzvah.
Exactly.
Stick to the turkey talk, boy. Right? That's what you
Let's
should
talk
do.
turkey.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically.
Speaking of grooming, I had an interesting episode the other day. I went to get a massage. I have my left shoulder blade has been really bothering me, and I had a gift certificate to go to get a massage, and it was at a place that I've been going to for I've gotten
A long time.
I've gotten a few massages there. I've gotten a few massages there.
I got a massage there. I got a corsage.
I got a corsage. So when they give you the massage, they have it's the massage chair that you're like kind of like propped up on, not like a bed. So, and it's like in the middle of the place where like people are getting manicures and pedicures, and it's a pretty large place.
Yeah.
And that's where I always get it. I sit in this chair and everyone's around you. So this time I walk in and I go to the Chinaman lady at the front. I go, is there a restroom that I could use? So I go use the restroom. I come out.
Yeah.
And the girl that was going to give me the massage, she goes, you want back room?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
And I thought
What?
that was like, all right, I'm in. I don't, because I've been there before. And now they know I'm cool and they can take me in the back room. Apparently, back room is just you just go in the room, nothing happens.
Yeah.
But I thought it was gonna be like, oh,
You
this
thought
is
it was
I thought
wiener
this was gonna be
time.
like one of these sweetie massages.
Ballpark Frank time.
So she goes, you want back room? I go, yeah, I want back room.
Franks and beans.
I go, yeah, I want back room. Now I'm all giddy and excited.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting. I'm like waiting for like when the time comes because it's a 30-minute massage. So now I'm like, I've been here a while. Like, when does this start? Because I'm gonna need a little bit of time.
A little time to fluff up.
And I figure that's what the back room means.
Yeah.
So
of course, what else could it mean?
So I don't know if I have to say something. Like, I never did this before. Have you ever done one of those kind of special massages?
Which ones?
The jerk and squirt thing?
We're on fucking tape here, dumb fucking moron.
Before Stacy was around.
Go ahead.
So no, you haven't. So I don't know, because I know like there's like codes that you're supposed to say so that they know you're not a cop and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know the code. Is she
Assalamu alaikum.
gonna give me a code where I gotta
Right.
say something? So then towards the end of it, and I'm like, there's only a couple minutes left. She goes, "You want hot towel?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want hot towel." But all it is,
She offered you a hot tower?
a hot towel. And all that was just a hot towel on my neck.
Oh, you got a hot towel.
I got a hot towel
on your neck. Did she put it over your face?
She did not put anything over my face, just a
Oh,
little
man.
hot towel on the neck, just it was a great massage. So I just got a regular, everyday, schmegular
How great would it have
massage.
been, Tony, if Mike goes in there to get a hand job and he gets a hot towel and she suffocates him and kills him with it?
That would absolutely be how I go.
He goes happy.
So I thought this was the time where, like, this guy's
you know
been
what,
here a
dude?
few times. Maybe I'll offer him the service.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Keep on plugging away.
I will. If
Because-
if anybody's watching that knows where any of these places are, don't hesitate to inbox me and let me know like what the code is.
I'm just saying,
supposed to say.
but this is something that you shouldn't give up on. You don't have a lot of aspirations in life, and this could be
I
something that you might break down this barrier here.
Yeah, and I'm
You
gonna
know?
try to break down the barrier. Like, I wouldn't do it obviously because Carla and everything. And
Carla, that's funny. That was almost believable for a second.
my friend one time went in to get one of these like innocent massages. He just wanted a massage.
Right,
And
his vertebrae were bothering him.
they were, but no, seriously, all he wanted was a massage, and he goes to one of these places. And he like got visibly excited while the massage was going on.
it moved.
And the girl that was doing it, she touched it and she goes, "Oh, don't worry, I take care." And then she took care.
Where was this?
He was in like Queens or something.
Oh,
That's
well,
where I think
of
that's where
course.
they all are. I don't
Yeah.
expect to get any of these on Long Island. I
Right.
don't know.
I take care.
If anybody wants to message me so I know where not to go, so that I don't have to have someone take care.
She said, "I take care." He's like, "No, just my back."
That's basically but he ended up going through with it. But
Okay.
She just taps on it. She goes, "Don't worry, I take care."
Wow.
Yeah, and she took care. And
That's
that
what my rabbi used to do to the top of my head.
Don't worry, I take
Yeah.
care. That's the worst rabbi impression
Jesus
of all time.
Christ. Sounds like my barber.
Leo, take care.
I did want something that happened during the week, by the way, that bothered me a little bit. I
know. I asked a bunch of people to come on the podcast.
No, I will say that bother is too strong of a word, but it definitely. So we have certain people that are lifers for this podcast that don't miss a week. Legitimately, they love every week. What's going on?
My uncle sent me a picture of a guy with a huge nose.
Oh yeah, thanks, Unc. Thanks, Unc.
Kind of like
Unc Morbido or Unc Keegan.
My Uncle John.
Yeah. This happened earlier in the week after our last episode, and so I was saying we have lifers. We have people that watch every week legitimately.
Yeah, thank you.
No one really that you know, but most of my people.
What's it like to have people support you?
Yeah, it's amazing. But like, my neighbor and friend Sue Harrington, Max's good buddy Jimmy's mom Kim, and Kim will actually watch the same episode more than once. She enjoys it.
Awesome.
She watches it in our office or wherever she watches it, and I guess because she laughs so hard that she has to watch back in case she missed anything.
See, that's what people got to realize. We have a good thing here.
But I will tell you, I noticed one thing, and it's not just isolated to Kim, but Kim specifically. Kim will text me something that she's like, so this happened, and it was so fucking funny. And then every single time I look back and I'm like, but that's something that Mike said. Every time. Every single time.
Send me one of those.
Yeah, I did. Every single time. I'm like, I don't even think she consciously is aware of the fact that for 53 weeks, she's told me how much she loves the show, but every single reflection of goodness was Keegs.
That's it.
So, yeah.
I have little gems that I put in, and they're memorable.
When I'm with the Boz,
yeah, when
we'll
you're
see
with the
how
Boz
she feels. She'll probably like the Boz.
She's gonna be
you had asked me.
I love that story that you told about the massage. No, that was Mike.
Yeah, that's all Mike. Everything was Mike.
You had a great 10-minute story about Tim McGarver, and
Tim McGarver. That's right. You had asked me earlier in the week, and then again the other night when you were sauced up on Chardonnay, you had asked me to remind me to bring up the Facebook Marketplace.
Oh my God!
So yeah, let's get into this.
The other night, I went into like a Facebook Marketplace hole, and you asked me, like, were you looking to buy anything? I'm like, no, just like I'll click on it just
to deep dive into the Facebook Marketplace,
available, and then you go in. And the first thing I saw that I mentioned to you the other night.
And you showed me, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
Somebody was selling a squalid.
A squalid.
Tony, you know
what is a squalid, Tony?
You ever hear of a squalid?
I'm surprised you guys haven't.
Let's hear it, Tony. What is it?
I'm just.
You're gonna let Mike tell it. You're gonna let Mike tell it.
I want to see what he has to say.
A squalid is a taxidermied squirrel wallet. It's a wallet made out of a taxidermied squirrel. And it is a full-size squirrel.
Full-size squirrel in the shape of a wallet.
In the shape of a wallet with a zipper, and you open the zipper. It's like its stomach is a
little change purse.
It's like a change purse, and it's called a squallet. A
squallet.
So somebody was selling this squallet, and I'll have some of his how he was describing it.
And he said he has multiple squallets available.
He has multiple squallets.
Yeah.
100% real, genuine squirrel, asking $30 each. He has 22 in stock. Inbox me for your order.
21 now.
He can do Google eyes, colored fur, and wacky haircuts. So he gives these squirrels wacky squares.
He's got squirrel wallets.
And if you see, you can't really see, but I'll describe it. It is a full squirrel.
Can you guys see from Mike's phone that he's holding in his hand, facing towards him right now?
There's a Sharpie marker in it and a pencil. But what really got my attention,
and you didn't even tell me this,
so
I don't even know this part.
This one you don't know. This was great.
Yeah,
and I told you. So people sell weird shit like the squallet, but this is what got me into it. Where I ended up going into the squallet, and this could be like a weekly thing because there's a lot of crazy shit people are selling on Marketplace,
right?
And then how people react to it. So Somebody posed a picture of a dream catcher. You know what a dream catcher is?
Dude, I've had many dreams caught.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
By the Boz.
And this is one of them right here.
The dream catcher, they're like the Indian, the Native American people. They make these things, and I'm sure a lot of
Did you say Indian?
Indians.
Okay.
Indians?
Good. You almost made it 50 minutes, Archie.
The Native American Indians.
Yep.
The dream catchers are like these things that they make, and you've seen
Yeah,
everybody.
they're feathers, and they have like beads on them.
Like beads like in a circle with feathers on them.
Yeah.
And you hang it over your bed. It's supposed to give you good dreams. It's supposed to catch the bad dreams, I think.
Right.
So this guy makes his own dream catchers.
Okay.
So his pitch was, I'm selling everything in my home. All of my dream catchers are handmade, and they're one of a kind. And for the next 3 days, any size dream catcher, $10, your choice.
Wow.
So this is like a great deal. This guy's got
Not a good deal, a great deal.
a great deal.
Yeah.
A fair deal on a hot dream
It
catcher.
sounded fair.
So Donna, for some reason, is super upset about his dream catchers.
Donna Dreamcatcher.
Donna Dreamcatcher.
Uh-huh.
And apparently she goes into Facebook Marketplace and she's like a professional Dreamcatcher buyer. She's a purchaser.
Oh.
So Donna gets upset and she goes, "They are a joke. They're all the Dreamcatchers there I want." Nothing she says makes sense, by the way, just because I'm going to say a lot of nonsense.
They're a joke.
Stuff.
They're all the dream catchers I want.
Yeah, and she
Okay.
says THERE instead of THEIR.
Oh, wow.
So she doesn't know how to spell either. So they are a joke. They're all the dream catchers I want. So Steve, who sells the dream catcher,
Right.
he's cool as a cucumber the whole time.
He's
Steve-
had his dreams caught, so he's
Exactly.
relaxed and calm.
So he goes, after she attacks his dream catchers for no reason, Steve goes, "I have 85 of them. Do you want them all?" So Donna replies, "I what? Couple there, like the bear on, it with pink blue feather. 2 small dream catchers there."
Is this pig Latin?
No, that's exactly
I
what
of
she
lay
said.
your actor cray.
Steve again cools a cucumber.
Right.
"I will hold all 4 of those for you."
How did he figure that out?
He figures out what
God,
she's saying.
he's brilliant.
Some kind of dream catcher language.
Oh, wow.
So Donna doesn't reply. So now Steve, I guess, is getting a little anxious.
Right,
He
doesn't know
goes,
what to do.
"I will hold those 4 for you. How long would you like me to hold them for?" Now Donna goes nuts.
Wacko.
Donna loses her sauce right now.
Yeah, she's gone.
So Donna goes, "Steve, do not tell me how much that bear would have blue feathers and I the pink feathers. Then I was just asking you how much is the bear with the blue feathers and the pink feathers, dream catcher. You can tell me how much it is. I sprayed inside."
Me too. Me too, Donna. 3 times.
I sprayed inside.
I sprayed inside. Me too.
Where? How do you get out 4 dream catchers? I'm not saying 4 dream catchers. I'm saying the bear. You bear with blue feathers, blue and pink feathers. Where the helicopter went force dream catcher. That one, 2 small ones. Where the are you calling the dream catchers?
Wait a second. Are you reading
This is one paragraph.
No, is this from the movie Nell? What was that?
Nell with Jodie
Chickapay!
Foster.
Chickapay! Dreamcatcher, eh?
This might be Nell.
Okay.
Disguised as Donna. So still the same paragraph that I was reading.
I hope so.
Where I left off. Dreamcatcher, that one, 2 small ones. Where the are you calling for the dream catchers? I'm on 1 big one, 1 2 small one. Where the fuck are you calling for the fucking dream catchers? If you cannot tell me how much the fucking bear dream catchers are, I pray that.
She did pretty good there for a while,
For a
though.
while, and then she started getting with the
She
obscenities.
forgot who she was for a second.
Yeah.
That's a great ending.
I pray that. I pray that.
I prayed this too.
Steve, his response, $100.
That's amazing.
And that was just one.
And Tony, you know how the story ends, don't you? Steve will be on our show in 2 weeks.
If you want to buy dream catchers, wait till next week. Steve's going to be
Oh
coming
my
on.
God.
Maybe he'll teach you how to make one or something.
That's phenomenal.
Hey, if I could get Donna on the show, you can't say no to that.
I don't know how I would say no.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, that was just one thing that I observed in Facebook Marketplace, and there's so much more of that.
Maybe we should just devote an entire different podcast to that.
Yeah.
We
The
could
Donna
do that.
Show.
You're looking for shows on this radio studio here, in this radio show.
I am.
Studio.
true.
Place.
Always.
Radio Stew Show.
Place. I feel like Donna. Place. Stony.
Our blue bear pink feather.
I pray that.
Oh.
I pray that.
Speaking of shows, here on this
He's got a
pod,
little something.
What do you
I have
got?
a little gift for you guys
What do you have?
to celebrate your 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
I have milk chocolate and peanut butter
Oh my
from
goodness.
Buc-ee's in Texas.
Whoa.
It is the best peanut butter and chocolate you will ever have in your
What
life.
are you doing at Buc-ee's?
The weight on this.
Yeah,
This is girth.
It's amazing. It's
Bro,
amazing.
I want to know how you got stuff from Buc-ee.
I have a listener or a viewer on my show who lives in Texas.
Really?
And
Okay.
she sends me what I call her chocolate box. And I get to eat out of her chocolate
wow.
box regularly.
I love
Right.
it.
And I love eating
But
out
what
of her
about
box.
this?
Yes, this is. She sends me a milk chocolate caramel thing. She sends me a bunch of these.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
It's
God.
just Buc-ee's is just fantastic. You
I
talking
love
before?
chocolate and peanut butter.
Yes,
That's my
me-
favorite.
and
I
thing.
mean,
This you will forget all about Reese's after eating this. I'm telling you, it's fantastic.
it even says on it, it's not even modest. 1/4 pound of goodness.
yeah, this is weight.
This is girth.
Yeah, wait. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, wait till you eat
cannot
it. It's
wait.
I
unbelievable.
saw you holding on to these earlier, and I thought they were like what do you call those frozen chipwiches?
Chipwiches,
And I'm
that's
like,
exactly what I
Tony's
thought
gonna
they
hand
were.
us a big fucking thing of mush in about an hour.
I thought too.
Wow.
It's amazing. And you were talking before about sticking it to the man. Buc-ee's, they're all over the South, and it's like a glorified 7-Eleven. They have a restaurant. They sell clothes.
Oh, so it's like a Wawa type of thing.
It's a glorified Wawa.
Okay.
But they treat their employees well. They have pensions. They have benefits.
Yeah.
So all the more reason why I like to support them.
Well,
but
good for
I'm
you.
Yeah,
telling
no,
you,
it's
it's
their
unbelievable.
advertisement.
I
Yeah.
watch a lot of TikToks of people reviewing foods from Buc-ee's.
Oh, is that right?
Foods, yeah.
Foods. Yeah.
Come to Buc-ee's and eat our chocolate box.
Perfect.
But I've always wanted to try Buc-ee's, and I love chocolate and peanut butter. I can't wait. Thank you very much, Tony.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm excited about that.
I am gonna have that with a nice glass of cold milk
This
later.
I have so many things still to talk about. We'll just have to wait to the next episode.
We have a
because-
couple minutes if you want to
Yeah,
talk
you
about
want
one of them.
to keep going if you
Well,
want.
the one thing I do want to talk about, and I told you guys, I texted you guys about this. We have been propositioned. I don't know if that's the right term, but my buddy Scotty had texted me a couple of weeks ago. I want to start advertising on the show. So as you guys can see, I don't know if you can see in the camera there, but it says, what does it say?
Demolition.
Demolition. Okay. So my buddy Scotty, as a matter of fact, let me preface this by saying, you know Wally and Judy, who are the couple that come and
They
see
were
us
here on
perform.
Sunday, yeah.
Wally's 94 almost. Judy is his wife, and they travel all over to see Monty and me and you. So that's
Not
the
me
family
at all.
that I'm close friends with. Their son-in-law, Scotty, who's married to Lori, who's my good buddy. Scotty owns a fantastic company called Demolition Specialist. He is definitely the best known, well respected demolition
He's an
specialist.
oral surgeon.
Or no, he's so he does demolitions work. If you need your house demolished to build a new house, whatever, he is licensed. He is insured. Consumer Affairs recognizes him, which is not common. And he said that he wants to advertise on the show.
Sure.
So I don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but we're going to start representing with some merch, and then we're going to figure out some sort of game plan as how Scotty and the demolition specialist. He also does fence rentals. He does dumpster rentals and demolition. So Scotty and the demolition specialist company are going to be advertising on this show in upcoming
All right,
weeks.
Very
and
nice.
yeah,
Thank you, Scotty. We
our
look for it. And
I'm so excited about that.
Scotty's in the mafia, is what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely.
It's,
No, Scotty's actually a Levittown guy, a little
nice.
little Jewish
Local
guy
guy?
from Levittown.
Nice.
Yeah, not that many of us, so we just
we're
get
happy
along.
to support local guys.
Yeah,
and
he's-
we're happy to have them on board.
He's so we're going to be sponsored by Demolition Specialists, Buc-ee's peanut butter chocolate. We're going to be sponsored
There's a
by
little
them.
beaver on it.
Yeah.
Little beaver.
Yeah, exactly.
And eat her chocolate beaver.
So what-
Exactly. Before you sign off,
Yeah, please.
this retirement stuff, you didn't touch upon that.
Ooh.
I thought. Well,
Yeah,
should I not?
definitely-
Did I speak out of turn
I
here?
don't know.
You know what? It's fine because I put it out there. I'm glad you brought it up, Tony. So basically, I had texted this, I guess, over the weekend to Mike and to you and to Monty. It's probably surprising for people who know me but don't know me.
Say know me again.
Naomi. Max is texting. What could he possibly want?
Nomi is what Erwin Learax was saying. This is my wife's Nomi and her other Nomi and
That's
Nomi.
Right. So when I started doing stand-up 13 years ago, previous to me taking the comedy class, I had a terrible, terrible fear of public speaking. Awful. I couldn't do it at work. I would skip out of assignments in college. Ultimately, I just had a real hard time with it. And then certainly when I started doing stand-up, it became a lot better. So that now when I have to do presentations at work, public speaking is nothing for me. But I will be very honest in saying that for the past 13 years, almost to every single time that I perform, the hours for me leading up to performing stand-up are very anxiety riddled, more than my usual level anxiety.
And I meant to ask you, like, even like a show like the other night where it's not your produced show.
No, it's nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. Whereas all day today I'm chomping on the bit to do this show, I do not feel the same way about doing stand-up. Now, do I enjoy stand-up? Do I enjoy hearing the laughter? Of course. The adulation. Do I love the post-show accolades? I love that. I love all that. But ultimately, and this is something that I'm working through right now, I came to the realization recently that I generally do stand-up for other people. Like, that I turn down opportunities more than I accept them.
Man, me and Monty were talking about the other day.
From Monty to you to Eric Half to Walker, I turn down opportunities. And part of that is because I just don't want to deal with the stress of leading up to a show. And I think that's because I don't really consider myself a natural stand-up. I assume that people who perform stand-up regularly don't have that. Maybe a little anxious right before they go on stage, but like my whole day Sunday, my stomach was in knots.
Really?
I think part of it could be.
It's easy for me to say, but I'm like, you're good. You're going to.
Yeah, it's not about good. It's not about. I don't.
Is that why you do so little of it?
Well, I think it could be both ways. It could be the reason why I feel that way is because I do so little of it. But yeah, I think part of that is also the fact that I avoid it because I don't want the stress that happens leading up. But again, like, do my set, do great, have fun, accolades, love all that part. The truth is, when I started doing stand-up, I did not take that comedy class with any idea that I wanted to continue doing stand-up. Yeah. I did it because a buddy signed me up for the class. We had a great time. My graduation show was surreal. Packed Governors, my late father right in front of me, my mother right there. And it was a dream that I never even knew I had. And I was literally like high on comedy for that whole night. Like, I couldn't sleep, but it was over. I didn't expect to do it ever again. Yeah. And then the club, Ginny had called me a couple of weeks later. She's like, do you want to come and do a spot on this show? And I'm like, what? Why? Where? What do you mean? Yeah. She's like, no, we're booking you to do asking you to do a spot on this show. And I don't like to say no to people, and a lot of times when I get asked to do stand-up, it's, hey, I got a fundraiser at Governors, and we know that you can help sell some tickets. Do you want to, come down? And I don't like disappointing people. I like the idea of raising money. I've helped people raise money against cancer. I helped Stacy run the marathon. We raised money to give to Tina Brescia and her family when she was going through the cancer thing. That's significant to me. Yeah. So that'll be hard for me to turn down. Yeah. But I don't know. I had a little epiphany this weekend. We'll talk more about it in upcoming weeks. Thank you for Tony. I did forget to bring that up, and I'm glad I did want to get it out this week. But we'll talk about it in upcoming week as to how I'm going to handle that going forward.
Yeah, I think we don't want to lose you. But,
yeah, well, listen, I think the fact that I have this platform would be the only way that I'd ever consider stop doing stand-up, because I feel like I do need a way to be able to talk and make people laugh, and that's what this is all about. The mind of a comic is money comes second. For most of us, at least. Obviously people do it for a living, but even people do it for a living ultimately they still want to make people laugh more than anything, right?
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about it. Thank you again, Tony, for bringing it up. Happy anniversary, Michael.
Happy anniversary, Mark.
Again, thanks for Silly Sally, for Tony, for all you do for us, all you have done, and we're gonna keep on plugging away. That's that.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mike, what do you want to talk about what do you have to plug or anything before we go?
Yeah, support all the shows here. Support Knock 'em Dead Comedy. This weekend I have. I'm actually going to be up in at the Funny Farm.
Funny Farm.
Upstate New York, but both shows are sold out. But I'll be with Carla and Jeff Norris, so you can't go to that.
Good.
If anyone's near Elmira, New York, I'll be there Monday night. New York.
Anyone in Elmira this weekend?
Elmira, New York.
Elmira, New York.
Monday night at the Samuel Clemens Center.
Oh, that's a big night to be at the Samuel Clemens Center.
the big Monday night show.
Okay. You guys go to Clemens on Monday?
In March, my uncle and I are producing a show together.
Shut up.
Yeah, we're gonna do it at the Loft in Belmore. We're looking at March 25th. We're gonna have
terrific.
We're gonna have a local band from Belmore.
Good.
Popular band play.
Okay.
And we're gonna get a couple of local comics, and we're gonna make it a little musical comedy night.
Please don't ask me.
No, I will not. I will never
Thank you.
ask you.
Good. Perfect.
Yeah. No. Yeah, take a lot of pressure off me now. I don't have to ask Mark.
Appreciate it.
But we're gonna do it. One of the bands plays with Tommy Burns, who's Billy Joel's lead guitarist.
Yep, sure. Richie
so
Burns.
It's gonna be Richie Burns. Actually, Richie Burns is gonna be on the show. So.
Okay, good.
But it should be fun. So
Awesome.
look forward to that. And
Great.
Just follow us on everything.
Awesome. Follow us. Keep on loving us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this show this week. And again, we what?
I just went like this, like
again. So we're signing out. We're a little bit over time. Hopefully you guys love the show, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Have a good evening.